The United States has become so polarized. I believe one reason is that we no longer receive our news via complete articles backed up with credible sources, but we receive our news via short sound bites or through, even worse, social media commentary. In this information age, we are so bombarded with competing bits of information that each bit has to scream louder to be heard, and soft conversation is all but disappearing. Although I currently serve as the pastor of a local church, I have a degree in journalism, so I do know a little bit about news gathering and dissemination. In the not-too-distant past, those who reported the news were considered highly respectable and trustworthy. People spent years learning and honing their craft in order to present the facts as accurately as possible. To be sure, journalists were still influenced by their personal ideologies, but there was a sense of pride in trying to be as unbiased as possible. Today, anyone with a computer or smartphone and a Facebook account can report the news. There are no fact checks or accountability, only rhetoric. This type of rhetoric or personal opinion used to be relegated to the editorial page, but no more. Through social media, any piece of useless drivel can trend to become headline news. In an information age, we are no longer an informed populace, but rather mindless repeaters of gossip that is masquerading as news in order to compete with the plethora of information sources out there. Even once respectable news outlets have to sensationalize their stories in order to gain their market share. The national attention span has been reduced to a short blurt of information. I am appalled by things spoken of as fact that are nothing more than opinion at best and outright lies at worst. Politicians who have always skirted a fine line between fact and sensationalism have also jumped on the soundbite bandwagon as they rip into each other with unbridled fury. Church folk are no exception. In fact, we church people have had more years to sharpen our weapons with which to participate in the melee, much to the contrary of Jesus' commands. As I said at the beginning, I am not here to debate any political or theological point, and I guess I am speaking more to Christians than to others. Although others would do well to heed this advice. What I have seen from both sides of the Christian aisle are attacks on one another that are simply downright mean. People are belittling one another and insulting one another and judging one another and mocking one another, all in the name of Christ. Well, truthfully, more in the name of self, but that is another video. Jesus said, "By this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another." John 13:35. Unfortunately, even though our love for one another is supposed to show the world that we belong to Christ, what our dislike for one another and disrespect for one another is showing them is that maybe Christ is not about love after all. Christ seems to be more about a political agenda or my rights, rather than love for others. Speaking of my rights and my opinions, Paul instructed the believers in Philippi, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. Do everything without grumbling or arguing." Philippians 2:3-4-14. This does not preclude disagreements, but those disagreements should be approached with love and civility. Passionate conviction need not lead to mean-spirited words or deeds. Jesus also said, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." John 8:32. I know Jesus was talking about the truth of who he is and what he came to do, but truth will set us free. We are instructed in the 10 Commandments not to bear false witness against our neighbor. Exodus 20:16, Deuteronomy 5:20. By not researching all of the facts before attacking or commenting, we are bearing false testimony against our neighbor. One of the primary shortcomings of social media is that statements can be presented on a subject as fact without having to verify the sources of the statements. In our soundbite-driven society, those random opinions presented as fact cause people to draw their swords on both sides. There is nothing wrong with standing up for your beliefs. In fact, I encourage you to do so, but make sure you have your facts straight. So, what do we do with all of these issues bombarding us every day? There's an old adage I used to hear on the TV show This Old House: measure twice, cut once. Once the wood is cut, you can't go back and uncut it. Check the facts and recheck the facts. Make sure you know the truth as best you can and then proceed in love.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any content.